بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة الأبدية على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام يوم الدين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري أن يفقه قولي. السلام عليكم my beloved ones ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah, we are going to continue our sessions on Manasik al-Hajj. We were doing questions and answers about Manasik al-Hajj, and then we came to this topic of slaughtering the sacrifice. And today we are going to talk more about specifying, that the representative specifies the animal of sacrifice for specific person. So when you're representing someone, this is the main question of theme. Do I need to specify, or they all gave me like 50 people they gave me, and I just slaughter one by one, and I say this is on behalf of those 50. So here there's a problem. Yes, you have been given the representation, but the goats are not specified. Yes, if you specify all the goats that this is for this is what number one, and the list number one for this, number one, two, and you look at the list, number one, at least if there is a specification in mind and heart, intention is there, it is sufficient. In lump sum, you just slaughter, okay, these 50 are for those 50, whichever, whatever, that is problematic. So that's why specification is very important. So, and then the specification should be to specific person, not a company. Let's say we have some of the mu'mineen, they got together and they established an institute of sacrifice. Okay. And their job is to help the HAJJ securing the animal of sacrifice on the days of Hajj and slaughtering them on behalf of. So it's a company. The company not owned by one person. There is a board of director. They are elected frequently, regularly, or hired on a contract basis or something like that. But there's a board. The owners are not one person. It's a company. Is it sufficient or not? Sayyidi Sistani Damadullah says, if when you are giving the company authority, if the person is specific inside the company who's taking the authority, that's fine. Just giving authority to a company is an entity and not a specific person. So rules and regulations of representation in Islam, in the school of Ahlul Bayt, is you need to represent a person or group of people, not an entity. So that's where our issues of Majhul al-Malik comes, where companies and banks or whatever they represent, um, they don't represent specific people. They represent the whole government or the whole community or the whole country. That's where we have some rules different about government banks than the specific banks, like owned by specific people, owned by government. So government represents the community, and the community are so many, the country, the region. So who from these is owner of the bank, or are owners of the bank, or are specifically known to be taking the money, giving the money? Okay, so that representation is an unknown, kind of majhul al-malik, unknown owner. So here, if a company is specific, owners are specific, when you give them there is a kind of human being involved, not AI. Like nowadays AI says we'll slaughter on your behalf, and there is a machine going on, and the machine slaughters, and the machine produces in nice packaging, everything is nice, clean, everything. However, there's no human element there. If there is a human element, I'm saying if and then fine. If some human is responsible, you gave the human, not machine, or not AI or whatever. So yeah, so this is question number 21. Is it permissible to represent companies or institutions? He says if that representation okay, befalls on a specific person, such as the owner of the company, then there's no problem. So when you are giving the company, you're not giving the company as a company. You're giving the representation to the owner of the company. Then there is no problem in that owner of the company to accept the representation. Even if the representation changes from one person to another person in the same company. Let's say you gave the owner of the company. The owner of the company gave the representation to the committee, which is responsible of the slaughtering, and that's buying and slaughtering. So that buying and slaughtering was done by specific person or specific people or so there it moves around. The representation moves around. Like we mentioned in our previous session, that someone has a general representation, he can give specific representation to another specific representatives. So other specific representatives. So here we have, he says that there's no problem if the representation, the representation it befalls on um, a specific person, like the owner of the company, then there's no problem. He can accept the representation, or it changes, even if it changes from one person to another person through the time. So when you gave the representation, the company owner was someone else, or let's say the department which was like in charge of this representation. You did not give the owner of the company, he just is an investor or whatever, but there is a department. So when you give to this department, head of the department is someone. Then someone else came head of the department. This guy gave resignation, or he left and someone else came. So there has been changes in representation, okay, in different times. There's no problem. Or any type of titles they have, like the titles are maybe different in the company. The owner of the company, the head of the department, all these titles might change. Uh, However, they are human beings. So he said, as for representing the company itself per se, without having aim on a specific person or specific people inside that company, then that is not valid. So the representation is invalid. That means if they slaughter on your behalf, it will not be considered your sacrifice. You did not sacrifice. So this is something about the company. If you represent a company, you see, it needs to be upon a specific person or specific group, and not the company as an entity. Question number 22. Let's say if group, we have 50 HAJJ, they give representation to specific person, someone, to buy the animal of sacrifice on their behalf and slaughter it on their behalf. So now is the representative required to specify every sheep or every goat when purchasing and slaughtering, or it's sufficient to get the whole bulk and just slaughter bulk? This is on behalf of those whom have given me sacrifice. Bismillah wallahu akbar, Bismillah wallahu akbar, Bismillah wallahu akbar. The answer, no. It is necessary that everyone is specified while slaughtering. So when you slaughter, this is on behalf of this. Even if it's in your mind, you look at the list, number 2, Fulan Fulan, Bingji, Fulan Fulan, Kimji, Fulan Fulan, Nanji, Fulan, Fulan, Shivji, all the G's you see, but the prefix of the G's are different. So Kimji, Mimji, Bhimji, Simji, Shivji, Rivji, Rauji, Sauji, all those, all the titles of Bani Khoja, for example. So they, there are specific, there is a specification on titling. I mean, specifying on every single. So you have a list in front of you. Number three. When you see number three, you see the name. Do I have to say it? No, khalas, that's it. I know that number three, goat number three is going to be for this number three. Finish. That's sufficient. You have to mention it by name, though we do mention by name just as a precautionary measure. But specification is very important. That this animal is specifically for this person. Question number 23. Let's say a representative who represented four people to purchase and to sacrifice for them. So he slaughtered on behalf of two. When he came to the third and the fourth, whoopsie daisy, what happened? He forgot. Maybe he got hyperbolic Irfani shock or something. No, me, bloodshed, animal, poor animal, something like that. You see? So what happens that the shock and awe kind of thing got him forget. Oh, wait, when he regained his natural state of moderation, uh, did I slaughter for Shivji or Ramji, or did I slaughter for Bhimji or Kimji? Who did I slaughter for? So he forgot. Okay. So he forgot. ولما أراد الذبح عن الباقين نسي المذبوح عنه. He forgot who did I slaughter, or he just forgot everything. The shock and awe of hyperbolic Irfani state by looking at the blood was severe. I mean, because there are people, we tell them, please, no, I can't see the animals being slaughtered. And are you more than Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? The Irfanism level has exceeded. So if Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam went to Mi'raj, he would have gone above the Mi'raj. Allah must have find some higher place than Rasulullah for you to be there in the Mi'raj. Baba, these are necessaries. If it was too much Irfanism and not slaughtering animals and blood and this and that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most merciful and the most compassionate. He wants you to slaughter. This goat has been created and meant for that purpose to manifest the sacrifice to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And for your information, according to some other Urfani countering your thing, they said that the animal who is used for the sake of Allah, for the pleasure of Allah, is pleased, not tortured or hurt or something like that. He loves to be in that position that you're using that person, that animal for the sake of Allah, to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see? So that kind of notion is it's with in line with Irfanism. Okay. So therefore on the you want an example? Those people who become martyr for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are pleased or they're displeased. If human being martyred, Allahumma taqabbal minna hadha al-Quran. Okay, oh God, if you want more, I'll give you more. He's in pain, but he has a sense of deep, profound pleasure because he's getting this pain for the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is human, salamullah alayh. And human, this is animal. He has same thing. He's the creation from the creation of Allah. The target is the pleasure of Allah. يُسَبِّحُ لِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ الْمَلِكِ الْقُدُّوسِ. So he's also doing tasbih. He also wants to be in the path of pleasure of Allah. So don't worry about that. And yeah, so that's why I said that hyperbolic Irfani shock. Some of the extreme fell, our beloved ones who have hyper level of Irfanism, they think more than they think, like Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they do not know. I mean, so that's why we pray for the guidance of all of us. I mean, if they have hyperbolic Irfanism, we might have hyperbolic something else. So let's pray to Allah to keep us on the path of moderation. Anyhow. So let's say what will happen now. The two were slaughtered, and uh, and we don't know whose the slaughtering was done upon whose share was specifically there. So he says that it is sufficient, okay? It is sufficient to slaughter the other two because he specified the first two. So they're not wrong. But other two, who are they, the remaining ones? So he said that in his mind, it is sufficient to slaughter the other two sacrifices on behalf of other two, and point out in his mind that these two are for those two whom the sacrifice was not done on their behalf. So it will not fall on those two. It will not be repetition for those two whose sacrifice are done. No, it is. It will be for those two whose sacrifice was not done. And to say that, Ya Allah, these two sacrifices are on behalf of those two whom sacrifice was not done in reality. بما هو الأمر الواقع, in reality, and Allah knows the reality. So بما يكون مميزا لهم عمن عداه واقعا. So in reality, it is specifically for these two, not the other one. It's distinguished for these two. So first of all, he sacrificed the first one on behalf of the one who is older from the other one. So there is a specification because there are four. So two of them are remaining. So he says that these two also try to specify. There's one who's older, one is younger. So there are like older, then younger, and then the youngest, the oldest and youngest. So two are remaining. So he can say this is on behalf of the oldest of those who were not, whose sacrifice was not done. And this one is for the youngest. So still in the between, there's a sub-specification. Like these two whom sacrifice was not done, and this one is for the oldest of those whom the sacrifice was not done, and this one was for the youngest. And let's say if there was a wise guy, he says, what if they were twins? Even if the twins, one might have come before and the second had come after. So there is an oldest and youngest. They don't come out together. I mean, ask the doctors. Maybe there is a way they get them out together, okay? But the medical professionals are to be referred into here. Then come back to Agha Sistani. He will give you the answer. But at this point, you have someone older, someone younger. What if they were both same age, like same day, same hour, same moment, same minutes? That will be a rare case. Come back to Agha, okay, to get a specific answer. But there must be someone who's 1 minute older or 1 minute younger in waqi'an, in reality. So we're putting the waqi' in reality, in the knowledge of Allah, in the equation of the sacrifice. Okay. Yes, mumayyizan, distinguish from other. These two, still there is something which could distinguish them. But I don't know these two are from those or not. So you mentioned one, number one, in the intention that those who the sacrifice is not done. Sub-specification, this is for the youngest of two. This is for the oldest of two. Or someone, he says, or someone whose payment was received before and someone whose payment was received after. So he'll tell me, what if they both came together and the guy received both together. That's also rare case. Okay. So there must be someone who gave before someone. I don't know. So that's why you say whatever is in the knowledge of Allah, which could specify this for one of them and this for the other of them. So the you're dumping the specification, further specification in the knowledge of Allah, but still you're putting the specification in the intention. So that's the peculiarity of specification and specifying the animal of sacrifice. So again, to sum up, in the mind, you need to bring these two things. Number one, those two whom sacrifice was not done. Further specification, one is for the oldest and the other is for the youngest. Or one is for the one who gave money before one. Who? I don't remember. I don't remember who gave, but Allah knows. In reality, there was someone who gave before, someone who gave after. So, yeah, so this is something which was about question number 23. Let's see question number 4. So I have to sacrifice for two. Question number 24. So I specified, okay, a specific sacrifice which was supposed to be for person A, accidentally got sacrificed for person B. And what was supposed to be for person B, accidentally the sacrifice was A was done for B and B was done for A. Is in a nutshell. How you write it, that's your problem. So in the mind, I have the sacrifice A, sacrifice B. This is for A, this is for B. So there is a specification. There is in the mind, the whole setup is there. So the answer, if there was a number one, so from these two, uh, the sacrifice for the A, person A, will be sufficient because he had two. He sacrificed B for A and A for B. So for A, the sacrifice of B, he took and he slaughtered. He says it will be sufficient because it's an accidental application. Accidental application, accident in application. So now there's only that's specific remaining for A, and he's going to slaughter for B. So he said that will not be sufficient. Okay. So first one, because there was a choice, accidental instead of B. Now the second one, there's only one choice, and that choice was for A, and the intention of B was done, but the sheep which was specified for A was slaughtered. So that is the bottom line is the specification for those people who are going to take the responsibility of slaughtering. Please don't get mixed up in these kind of rulings, because sometimes it's even complicated for that person there to think about, okay, so I had A and B, so error application for number one. So for number two, why does not same apply? Okay, so there was an option in the number one. So the intention was changed. Now, for number two, there was no option. And there are further detailed things mentioned in the Bahth al-Kharij, advanced level. But at this point, okay, for you to understand that whenever there's option and you choose a wrong option for there were two options and one person. So you chose one of the options accidentally. you made the intention. So the intention was changed, but here there was only one option. So this we'll discuss further in the advanced level researches. So apparently it doesn't make any sense. Why this one was also not? Because there was no other option. That one was remaining. Here there were options. So accidental application. Instead of this was done. So the intention fell upon the second one, which was appointed for that person. But when the sacrifice happened for the A. But here, there is no accidental application. There's only one application, one option. So that's why this is not sufficient, because you are slaughtering someone else's sacrifice. Question number 25. So now 50 people, the 50 sheeps has been specified for 50 people, but the slaughterer did not know that these are all specified. Like there's a list and the goats are numbered, okay? And maybe the number was on the next small number, only the representative, because there's a representative and there's a slaughterer. So the goats are all there mixed. They are specified, okay? They are designated for each HAJJ. But the slaughterer did not know about the specification that they are specified. And he thought that while slaughtering, I need to specify, which is normally the case. But what happened that in some scenario, when we go for Hajj, some Hujjat, they come with us early days, like for 5th Dhul Hajj, 4th Dhul Hajj to buy. So each Hajj says, I will buy my own sacrifice. I want to make sure that my sacrifice is this and that. And people, they like to choose their animal, like choosing a pet. So they want to choose a sheep. And these are respected. I mean, sometimes it might not make any sense that, oh, why should I? He wants, let's say he wants to make sure that he chose the sheep which fulfilled the conditions of sacrifice according to his satisfaction. Okay? So there may be any reasons. Sometimes people say, why will you choose a specific? There are so many reasons for people to choose. So he chose, okay, they chose their sacrifice. 50 Haji came and they pinpointed, this will be mine. Okay, number, so your number is 5. They have this neck collar and they have numbers. The slaughterer, he did not know that these numbers have been specified and delegated for each Haji. So he started slaughtering. He slaughtered B for A and A for B. Okay, mixed up all the things. So will this be sufficient? The answer is same like the above. If it was, it was done from the aspect. If it was, yes, he says it will be sufficient. If it was based on the accidental application. If we are going to apply the previous ruling here, question, then the last sheep would be for the last person. The last person remaining, the sheep will be for someone else. So this would apply here as well. So out of 50, 49 sheeps. He doesn't mention, but it is a continuation follow-up questions of previous. So he says, Wala yajzi, previous question, he said, the second one will not be sufficient at all. Mutlaqan. So it's an absolute rule that if one remains only option and all those 49s have been done. So now the question comes. Now we know that 49 are okay if it was accidental application, unawareness, not intentionally, not deliberately. But what about the last one? If we apply the previous ruling, the last one is going to have he has to purchase a specific or pay the money for this sacrifice in order for it not to be usurped. Someone else's goat is going to be sacrificed for you. There, everybody shared, like 49 goes went to 59, 13, 39, 39 was for 29. So there was all everybody's specifics were slaughtered, but the application was error. There was an error in application. Here, there's only one, and it is not his. Okay. So either he has to pay, either he has to purchase another one, either he has to purchase this and pay the money on behalf of Majul al Malik. But why should he take the responsibility? It was not his fault. Yeah, so here there are another issues that if the one who was the representative, he made the mess up, okay, then in certain cases he would be responsible. So it is like, was it intentional or unintentional from that person? In all the cases, it's better to do a musalaha, okay? And the guy who took the responsibility of representation takes the responsibility and ends up, you see, like la jidala wa la fusuqa fil hajj, and quit argument. No, you are responsible. No, you are responsible. And yeah, but if it was accidental, he said, I did not intend. I appointed that guy slaughterer. So come to the slaughterer. Why did you slaughter? He's oh, I'm a poor person. How can I afford that? I'm slaughtering to earn some money and this and that. You guys give me $10 for each goat. And where will I bring the money? Where we gave you 50 goats. So like you have at least 240 um, $20 per person. That means two fives is 10. That means you have $80. Yeah, I'm very poor person. Well, then it's better to have a musalaha, okay? A mutual consolation, and just slaughterer gives half, not slaughterer like three if he can afford, or the guy can afford, or just your agent representative you just pay and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you. So yeah, so that's chapter is different because we have the chapter of amanat. Okay, the guy who's represented is amanat. He's not taking money for his services. He's volunteering and he's as a trust. So should we hold the trust, a person who we have given them trust, liability, responsibility if he messes up with the trust? So the huge chapter in the Islamic laws that he's not responsible. The person who's holding amanat, if accidental thing happen, is not, because intentional he cannot do, apparently. Intentional error. Why? Because if you know that he is not a trustworthy person, then you were to be blamed. Why did you give him the trust? When you gave him the power of attorney, take this 100 euros and slaughter on my behalf, you are giving him trust because he's trustworthy person to you. If accidental thing happens, you can't blame him. You have to take his word. So you take the responsibility. So, no, but he's not trustworthy. Then why did you give him? You take the responsibility. In all cases, the one who gives representative normally that, but the details are there in the Islamic laws. That is a different case. But here the case is the sacrifice done or not? So the last person, poor guy, the 50th person, that's the he's going to have to pay or to deal with it. Okay. What if he doesn't have money? What if the slaughterer doesn't have money? What? Then we have this fast 10 days. Remember? So question number, okay, this similar question. That's why I said why it is repeated. Um, So question number 26 is almost same. 50 sheeps were specified for 50 people, uh, but uh, the slaughterer slaughtered 10. He thought that they are specified, and he left 10 of those which were specific. So, so the ones which were he slaughtered, he thought that these are specified for these 10 people. And he left the 10 which were really specified. So when this is a scenario, he has 50, he needs to slaughter them, okay, for 50 people. But the slaughterer, among those 50, he slaughtered accidentally 10 which were not specified. Well, let's say there's a farm and normally they are fenced. So the seller has fenced sheeps. He has 100 sheeps. Story of Prophet Dawood alayhi salam happened. The sheeps got mixed up. These 50 here, they are specified for caravan of Fulan, 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 and those 50 are numbered and specified and everything. And what happened? Pink Panther scenario happened. And there are other 30, 40 remaining on the other side, like 50. So the slaughterer and the representative of HAJJ, they came and they had specified 50 on the right-hand side, okay, of the farm or the fenced place of the buyer. So the guy was talking to the representative, and the representative gave the list of the HAJJ to the slaughterer. And while they were talking, the slaughterer was tired. He said, let me just start slaughtering. I have the list and I have the everything. He went there and he started slaughtering the goat on the right side of the farm. And once the guy looked, oh no, stop, stop, stop. What? You know, I mean, your goats have been brought here on the left-hand side. The right are not yours. Okay. Oh, so 10 are already slaughtered. So now the scenario of the question is understood, inshallah. So the slaughterer accidentally slaughtered not 10, not from the specified ones for this caravan, because they were shifted on that side. So what about these 10? Okay. The seller said, it's okay, khalas, it's okay. I'm pleased. I'm pleased. Okay. So whatever happened, happened. So those 10 which were specified, they will have to be given to the seller, because those 10 were slaughtered on behalf of someone else, but they were not specified. They were not purchased by that money of the caravan which was collected from the HAJJ. So there was no specification on that, because he brought the left ones to the right ones in the farm. And the slaughterer thought that these are ours, and he started slaughtering by name. So the name befell on goats which were not theirs at all. They were not specified for them. And the seller said, it's okay with me, that's fine. So SISTANI says it will not be sufficient. They were not specified. See how this peculiarity of specification of the animals are meant. Those were specified for specific HAJJ, and they were number tagged. The others were also number tagged, but those number tagged with numbers were not for this specific caravan and the specific names in the list. So he slaughtered 10, not for the ones which are for this caravan. You understood the scenario. I'll not go. The answer is it will not be sufficient. So those 10s, there is a liability. Either the seller takes the responsibility, because he shifted and did not inform either the somebody is responsible there, and mostly the seller. That's why the seller said, I don't have any problem. But we can't, those 10 are gone. Okay. So the seller have to compromise, and when they slaughter their 50, those are the ones which are going to be sufficient. These 10 extra, the seller will have to deal with it because it was his mistake. He never told, but he said, I was talking and the guy slaughterer went all the way and started slaughtering. What's he should have waited. And the argument, as I said, la jidala wa la fusuqa fil hajj. So, so this is another advice, that please, please, please be concerned about the specification of the sacrifice for the Hajjaj, because you have taken the responsibility of it. Okay, so question number 27. Maybe you as a Haji, it's not, you say, what the hell? I mean, what the heaven? I mean, why am I just going? Yeah, but this is for the caravan leaders, or those who go to the to take care of the sacrifice. This is very important for them to understand these rules. You see, it's not like just haphazardly mentioned, because these things happen and they raise questions to Agha, and the Agha responds to these questions, and to solve their problems. And next time, for those who have not been in this situation, can be in this situation. So as we said, that this for Hausa students, for them to learn more in depth the ahkam of Hajj. So those, especially those who go for the caravans. Question number 27. Again, this application, error in application. So the question comes that why the previous one, the tens which were slaughtered, are not considered from the error of an application, because they were not even purchased. They were not even specified. The examples which we said error in application, there is a specification, prior specification. There's a purchase. There's advance payment. There's a specific specification on those sheeps. But accidentally, A is slaughtered on behalf of B, B is slaughtered on behalf of it. That's we call accidental application, error in application. Not those tens which were not specified, not purchased, not, and accidentally the slaughterer went ahead and slaughtered 10, and then he realized, oh, these are not ours. Ours were supposed to be in the right, and I came in the left. So the error could be from the seller, the error could be from the slaughterer, or the error could be from the agent. He told the slaughterer, go and slaughter all those, and then after 10, oh, no, 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 wait, wait, wait. So it is not necessarily this error of the seller. We gave you the example of the seller, but it could be the error of seller, slaughterer, or the representative in general who is responsible for this process. Okay, so let's see question number 27. So there is a sheep which is for someone else. And that someone else said to the representative, slaughter this sheep on my behalf. So he had to slaughter on his behalf as well. Okay, so that he wanted to slaughter on his behalf, and someone else told him, let's slaughter this sheep on my behalf. So he slaughtered the sheep of someone else on his behalf, like the one who gave him representation. And then he hesitated. Did I slaughter? I slaughtered this sheep, but did I make my intention or that person's intention? So what would be the ruling? He says that this kind of mixture or confusion which happens after the slaughtering, it does not affect the the slaughtering on behalf of the owner of the sheep, because it is like an error in application. So that means if there are two sheeps, then the second one, if there are two sheeps, previous one, here we have one sheep only. Remember that one sheep was slaughtered, okay, error application. Second is not. The last one is always not in the, comes under the error of application, because it's only one specific for, sheep for someone else. And now you're going to slaughter for some other person whose sheep was not slaughtered. So there is a serious problem here. But here we have one sheep, okay? We don't have. And he needs to slaughter, and he needs to slaughter on behalf of himself one sheep, but one sheep is only specified. So he says that this kind of confusion, if it happens, then it does not affect the sacrifice. The sacrifice happened on behalf of the owner of the sheep, whether you or whether that person. In this scenario, it was that person's, and it is considered from the error in application. So your confusion was error in application, because you are the one you're going to slaughter on your behalf and on behalf of other. And that sheep is that person's. So when you slaughtered, you doubted, you see, it's not certainty. He says his hesitation. He hesitated that, ثم تردد. He hesitated. Did I slaughter on behalf of that person or on behalf of myself? So this kind of confusion is considered from the error in application, and the slaughtering happened on behalf of that person because the goat was specific on that, and you had in your mind intention that you are going to slaughter on behalf of that person. Question number 28. Again, a person wanted to buy a sheep and slaughter on his behalf. Another person came, وجاء من أقصى المدينة رجل. Oh, please don't forget me, brother. I'm also in your group and caravan, and they all slaughtered, and I'm left alone, and this and that. So he gave this person representation, the one who's other person who's not slaughtered. I mean, not his sheep was not slaughtered. I mean, he did not offer sacrifice. So there was no specification. So I want to buy for myself and slaughter for myself. And this guy comes and, please slaughter for me. Inshallah, qurbatan illah, helping a mu'min is ibadah, as long as it does not mess up my ibadah. My ibadah means my obligation. So he purchased a sheep and slaughtered it. Then he realized, oh, I did not make an intention while purchasing that it will be for me or for this person. So will it be valid? He says, yes, it will be considered on behalf of this person, the slaughterer. I mean, you. It will be considered mine. It will, because there are two things. One is initial responsibility. The second is addition responsibility. For sure, I had my intention in the beginning. I'll buy for myself, I slaughter for myself. So foundation of your intention is initially for you. So there is an initial responsibility. Then there's وَجَاءَ مِنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ. Oh, please. That became an additional responsibility. Okay. So he said that the sacrifice, if it got confused in your mind, it will be yours, because you had already made a foundation of your responsibility to fulfill your responsibility. Prior to that, another extra responsibility which had befallen upon you. So he says it will be considered on your behalf, okay, on the behalf of the person who purchased his animal of sacrifice and slaughtered, because the purchase for other was an extra responsibility, which requires extra um, consideration in the slaughtering. So uh, if he did not make an intention for other, so it will be for himself. And since he is the one he slaughtered, he had his embedded intention that it is for him on his behalf. So it will be sufficient for him. Ruling number 20, question number 29, not ruling. We are doing Q&As. So, as I said, that before the days of Hajj, when there's no crowd, less crowd, sheep are available, goats are available, and with proper conditions. So many Hujjaj caravans, they go and they purchase and they mark them with certain marks. Okay. Like many times, I mean, in my days, I've seen they would mark a paint which will be a kind of signatory paint. So, so that it doesn't get mixed up with other goats. Let's say these marks were not so obvious, okay, or number tags, which were like cheap chains or something like that, we could fall down and break down, or the sheeps were fighting each other and one grabbed one's chain, another grabs another, for example, okay. So anyhow, just to let you know that they got mixed up now. The signs got mixed up. So if a group of sheeps purchased for certain caravan were marked, and these marks got mixed up, okay, will it be permissible to reassign them, remark them? If not, then what should we do? Okay. Um, I mean, these are designated, these were name tagged. Number one for Haji Fulan, number two for Haji B, Haji C, Haji D, E, F, G. This is, why do you always mention Bani Khoja? No problem, I'll mention Bani Hajim. This is for Sayyid Naqwi, Sayyid Zaidi, Sayyid Kazimi, Sayyid Sajjadi, Sayyid Alawi, Sayyid this. Oh, so they're specified for all these caravan of Bani Hashim, Sadat. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase them and the pious ones among them and elevate their status. So therefore, the Sadat, caravan of Sadat, not for Bani Khoja, Bani Hashim. All of them are. So now they are specific, they were specified name tag. Confusion happened. The name tags got broke, but the the seller says these are yours. We did not do anything. By God, swear and Quran, whatever, that these are yours. You chose them and everything. You double check them. They're from the mouth and from behind and from they were all intact. There was no problem in these sheeps. But they're mixed up now. We don't know. Okay, whose is whose? Is it for Sayyid Naqwi or Sayyid Abidi or Sayyid Fulan or Sayyid Fulan? They're all mixed up. So what would happen? Can we reassign them? Now, see, this is the peculiarity. Once you specify, it's specified, finished. Okay? It's on behalf, purchase on behalf of Sayyid Kazimi, Sayyid Abidi, Sayyid Sajjadi, Sayyid Zaidi, Sayyid Taqawi, Sayyid Naqawi, Sayyid Askari, all the. So they're all specified. How can you now reassign them? He says, no, it would not be permissible to reassign them. They have already been assigned. So what should we do? The name tags are lost. The number tags are lost. Okay. So each Sayyid had his name tag hanging on the thing and it got lost. got messed up, broke, the chains broke, whatever. Um, so what should we do? Reassigning, respecification? No, they're already specified. You forgot. The size got messed up. They broke. So what should we do? They should not be reassigned or respecified. Rather, they should be slaughtered on behalf of those in your mind. This is on behalf of the one whom we specified before. Bismillah wallahu akbar. This is on behalf of the one we specified before. Bismillah wallahu akbar. Bismillah wallahu akbar. Okay, so these are on behalf of the representation which we were given to specifically those specific representations which we were delegated from them. On their behalf, we are slaughtering. Okay. Uh, so yeah, so just slaughter, making the intention on behalf of the one who gave us delegation, specification. So these are specified. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take it as as it was. It was because the sacrifice was specified, purchased, but then got mixed up. So he says, no problem. Just specify it again. Okay. Question number 30. So question number 30 says, number tagged, sheeps. Good. Number 50 was tagged for Zaid. But then there was another quote which has the tag number 50. You heard about double booking. This double tagging. Okay, so tagged, same number is been tagged for other. So it appeared that the two goats were tagged with the same number for one person. Same person now has two goats specified for them. Now these taggings many times are mistakes of the seller. So if it was a mistake of the seller, okay, and the seller said, no problem, you can take this bonus. You took 50 goats from me. I'll give you this one a bonus. So the seller was okay with it. So will this be sufficient to slaughter one of the 50s? Because one is definitely for him. Which one? We don't know. The price is paid for one, but the other one is not his. It's an accidental tagging. So he says, if the confusion was, okay, there is a confusion. If the confusion was from the aspect of one sheep being for one person, so we don't know this is for the seller or this is for the buyer. The buyer has purchased one, but there are two tags, same number. So he says if this was a confusion between the buyer and the seller, the confusion, there's a sheep which you are going to slaughter. It is confused of being for the seller or for the buyer, for the person who's going to slaughter. So the buyer or the seller, the confusion is this because he has to slaughter number 50. Which one? This one? I don't know. Maybe this one is not for me. I paid for one, but I don't remember, you see. the shape and I'm confused. I mean, maybe this is mine, maybe this is mine. They both look alike. So if you can't distinguish yours from not yours, okay, perhaps you chose black one and this is white, or vice versa. Perhaps you chose big and this is small. Perhaps you choose male and this female. There's no those things to be worried about. So therefore, if you can define, that's it. But if you cannot define and there's a tight confusion, deadlock, okay, the doubt is locked. You can't decide either ways. So he says that you can draw a lot, okay? The if you this you can specify by drawing a lot, because the drawing a lot is solution for this such kind of, and it is designated by the Islamic law, by the legislation, by the hadith of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam. Whenever there's a confusion in specifying and it's a deadlock situation, like doubt is locked 50-50, I don't know this or this, then the qur'ah, drawing the lot, would be the solution. So if after drawing the lot, let's say this white number 50 came out for in the favor of the person, the buyer, the HAJJ, then he will slaughter that and it will be sufficient. So here the scenario also, there's one more thing. The number 50, one of the number 50 was slaughtered. Yeah, that I forgot to mention. Because in the answer it says that, so we have two. One is alive, one is been slaughtered. Now I don't know, is this number 50 mine or that number 50 mine? So drawing of the lot. So if the slaughtered one came out to be in the favor of the buyer, finish, that's his. If not, then they will have to slaughter other one, the one which is alive. Obviously it's alive because you have to slaughter it. So وَإِلَّا لَزِمَ ذَبْحُ الثَّانِيَ عَنْهُ. Okay, now two sheeps, if the draw comes in the favor of the Hajji for the second one, which is alive, then it was slaughtered. Okay, now the buyer, I mean the seller, what would the seller do? You could created a loss for him. So the seller would be compensated. Yeah, because after the slaughtering, the value goes down. So let's say you slaughtered them 50, it was yours. So what will happen, that you will have to give the fare difference. You know, like when you purchase a ticket, airline ticket, and you want to change your ticket, so you have to pay the fare difference. So here is the value difference. The value of the slaughtered, value of the alive sheep. How much is the difference? So you will have to pay the difference, compensation for the difference, because that sheep is not yours, number one, which was slaughtered. So وَيُعَوَّضُ الْبَائِعِ, the seller would be compensated for the difference between the one which was slaughtered. The price of the price difference between the one which was slaughtered, the price difference of a sheep, which is before slaughtering and after slaughtering. So before slaughtering, how much is the value? After slaughtering, how much is the value? Because one sheep was paid for, specified, and that was which was slaughtered. The other sheep was not paid for, Okay. One sheep was paid for. Now I want you to focus with me. One sheep was paid for. So which one? I already paid. So what about the one which was slaughtered and the draw did not come in the favor of that slaughtered one? So mine was, according to the draw, was the one which is alive. So that payment was done for my sacrifice. Okay. So basically, that the one which the draw came on alive, that was done. That is done because the payment was done. That was supposed to be sacrificed. But because of the confusion in tagging, okay, the one which was not his at tag number 50 was sacrificed. So he says it would be necessary to slaughter the second one on which the draw came. لزم ذبح الثانية عنه. This is understood because the draw came on that 50 number tag 50 which was alive. The one which was slaughtered, because that person slaughtered tag number 50. Then this popped up from the rows. Oh, that's 50. Who's this one? Is that mine or this mine? So here you had a problem. So this tag 50, one which is came, now one is slaughtered and one is watching. Hey, I may be yours. Okay, you slaughtered someone else's. So what should we do here? So he said, you need to slaughter. Okay, you come here. He said, he will say, me and my big mouth. And we said, they are pleased to be sacrificed. So you will not say, you'll say, thank you, Allah, that I was meant for this purpose of your pleasure. Okay, so tell us, why should we pay to this person compensation? So لازم ذبح الثانية. Second one must be slaughtered. ويعوض البائع عما به من التفاوت. Now this ويعوض, it should be يعوض البائع عما به التفاوت بين الشاة الأولى قبل الذبح وبعده. So the seller should be given the difference, the fair difference between the one which was before the slaughtering or after the slaughtering. Now here we have two possibilities. If the mistake was from the seller, so the seller is going to, you will give the seller the price of the post sacrifice, because post sacrifice the value goes down. It's a dead. I mean, it's halal. So you will tell him, okay, we will not give you the original price. Okay, we will give you just this because it was your mistake. You tagged two sheep and we got messed up. So we will not give you the original price. It's like a mutual, that he doesn't lose, you doesn't lose. Something happened in between. Okay, and the Qur'an is not, it's a decisive apparent ruling, but in reality, God knows best. So it's just to relieve the responsibility. Qur'an, our ulama, they say, is it a decisive solution? No, it is a relieving solution for the responsibility. So God knows best, but the Qur'an, the draw, is a solution to relieve your responsibility on the day of judgment. If it came to be that goat which was slaughtered was yours, okay, you will not be held accountable, responsible, because you used a direction given to you by Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam to resolve these issues. So the seller would be given the fair difference. How much is the slaughtered animal cost? We'll give you just the slaughtered animal cost. Okay? Because now the animal you will sell it, so it will just bring you the money of the not the alive one. So you will give the fair difference, you see, because now the seller will sell this meat as a slaughtered animal, not as a living animal. So the value has gone down, so that you will give the amount, extra amount only, extra amount. Cheap. We don't want this sheep. It's not ours. Okay. So how much? 100 euro is for the live, 50 is for the dead, okay, or slaughtered. We'll give you 50 euros. So we'll give you the one, if you had sold this alive, it had given you 100. Let me make an easier example. 50-50 is makes complication. The slaughtered costs 80 euros. Okay. The the alive costs 100 euros. So I will give him 20 euros. Why 20? Because the market value of the slaughtered is 80 euros. Okay. So we will give you the compensation, though tagging messed up came from you, but we will give you the extra loss. We will recover your loss. Okay. Yeah, this is now a better word. So whatever loss you incur, we will give you from the slaughtered, the difference between slaughtered. So this is yours. You can sell it, eat it. It has market value. Let's say it has market value of 80 euros. So your loss, the deficit which happened, we are going to give you the deficit. I hope it's clear now. So the seller, يعوض البائع, the seller would be given the deficit value or the loss which incurred after slaughtering the sheep, the difference between the slaughtered sheep and the alive sheep. What is the difference? This difference will be given to the seller as a compensation for the loss. It's just a way, because qur'a, so the seller is winner in a win-win situation. He got the slaughter and he got the extra amount. So to let the seller be pleased, because he might not believe in Quran, and you can blame him that the tagging messed up was because of you. But he said, what do I have to do with the Quran? I don't believe in the Quran. So it's like some kind of mutual reconciliation, you see, that the seller is happy and the buyer is happy and the sacrifice is done and the responsibility is relieved. So it's all like solving a problem. Okay. So in conclusion, there are two tagging. One was slaughtered, number 50. One came out, popped up alive, is 50, which is mine. So you already slaughtered one. So then you will do lucky draw, or not lucky draw, the draw, qur'ah. So if it came that the slaughter one was yours, finish. If it came that the live which is staring at you, me, not that one, okay, came, then come on, let's slaughter you. Now we come to the seller. The seller will say, I got lost now here. We say, because of you messed up with the tagging. Okay, but you took two of my sheeps. It's not my problem. I have a loss. No problem. We will give you the deficit which happened, the deficit in value which happened because of the sacrificing that sheep number one. So you sell it. Even if you sell it in 100, 200 euros, the slaughtered, we don't have any problem. It's yours. But we will give you the deficit in market value, the fair difference between the slaughtered and the real animal. So we'll give you the deficit. So you are happy, inshallah. Okay. ويعوض البائع, the seller would be compensated the difference between the slaughtered and the alive. However, if you want to take the slaughtered to your caravan so that have a nice feast meal of HAJJ, you are most welcome to. But if you don't want it, where will you take it? You give it to him, he will manage, he will eat it, he will invite people, he will sell it to others. That's fine, it's his problem. You just give him the deficit value. I mean the difference which happened because of the slaughtering, the value came down. That's the thing. Question number 31. Whoa, conditions. So question number 31, the Hajji made a condition on the caravan leader or the one who's responsible for slaughtering the sacrifice on his behalf. I want male. I am male. I'm straightforward male. I want a male sacrifice. But then a female was sacrificed on his behalf. That was a conditional representation. And in conditional representation, the representative should fulfill the condition as it is because he accepted the representation on those terms. So it was not slaughtered male, female. Agha says, no, it will not be sufficient. You accepted conditional representation. Question number 32. If the representative purchased several sheep for a group and slaughtered, after slaughtering, it appeared that whatever was slaughtered, whatever was purchased, was castrated or mutilated. So, and we said that total cutoff, nothing there, empty, okay, not sufficient. So, what would he do? You know that there are two situations that there were no other options, or if he would have waited, he would have got the proper sheeps. So the question is, it all came out to be castrated. So what if, another scenario in the question, on the second day, he would not find other than castrated. His nasib became castrated. So does he have to wait until the second day or until he finds proper animal of sacrifice, or he just goes ahead with whatever he got? So the question is divided into two. One is he slaughtered, well, فتبين أن لو بعد الذبح, after the slaughtering. So is it going to be liable, responsible for slaughtering the castrated ones, or what? Excuse me. So he says, number one situation, he slaughtered the castrated. He says he's responsible. Whoopsie daisy, go back, find proper ones. So this is number one, he slaughtered. Number two, so number one was after slaughtering, he found out whatever he purchased was castrated. Is he going to be responsible, liable for it? Yes, there is a liability. He is responsible. Why did he do castrated? And let's say another scenario, if he did not find the first day and the second day he waited, and second day also he found all those. So was it obligatory upon him to wait until the 12th day that he gets the proper so he says that in the second, so first scenario, he's slaughtered, he's liable. In second scenario, he is supposed to wait until the 13th of the HAJJ, the last day of slaughtering. If he does not find, except for the castrated, then it would be sufficient. So the bottom line is wait until the 13th. If you found some, slaughter those some intact one. And if you, the other castrated, wait. Question number 33. Representative slaughtered an animal of sacrifice, slaughtered a sheep. Instead of saying animal and sacrifice, we'll just say sheep. If a representative slaughtered a sheep on behalf of someone else, he purchased and slaughtered. Later on, he realized that the slaughtered sheep was not according to the required age, religiously required age. And he doesn't know who represented him. He forgot, or he doesn't know. لا يعرفه الموكل. Let's say, remember some cases, someone gives you representative next year, please, in Mina, you're going to go for Hajj every year, go for Hajj slaughter on my behalf. They're like group of people, they represented him. So now he has 100 euro. It's written on him, must be slaughtered on behalf of someone. He has 80 euros, must be slaughtered on behalf of someone. So he has all these amounts. So the one which was 100 euro, he slaughtered, it came out to be below the required age of the sacrifice, animal of sacrifice. He doesn't know who gave him this, because he must consult him, go and talk to him, reconciliation, musalah, whatever. So what should he do now? He doesn't know the one who represented him. And there's no way he will be able to know that representative. So will it be sufficient to give sadaqah with the amount equal to the amount of the sacrifice, because he's responsible? He did not fulfill the sacrifice. So what should he do? Will it be sufficient to just pay the amount of the sacrifice, sadaqah, on his behalf? Because he was the one who caused that kind of loss. Or give himself the sadaqah because he's from the poor people. So the answer, if he realized after passing the days of slaughtering, the shriq, that excuse me, that he slaughtered. إذا علم قبل مضي أيام التشريق اشترى أيام التشريق اشترى شاة أخرى وذبحها. If he realized his error before the passing of the day of Tashriq, passing the days of sacrifice, here don't give the money to the poor people. Just slaughter on his behalf. Get another sacrifice, animal of sacrifice. Slaughter on the behalf of that person. So that is if it was in the days of Tashriq. Now, you know, if the days of Tashriq pass, what is the rule of thumb to slaughter in Makkah and in the month of Dhul Hajjah? So that is the second alternative. And similarly, he will do on the basis of obligatory precaution after passing of the days of Tashriq in the month of Dhul Hajj. Let's say if the month of Dhul Hajj passes, then next year he will purchase a. So sadaqah is not a solution on behalf of that person who gave you the responsibility. Slaughtering is the only solution. So if the days of Tashriq are remaining, slaughter in the days of Tashriq, days of sacrifice. If the days of sacrifice have passed away, 13th Dhul Hajj has passed away, then you have as an obligatory precaution, until the end of Dhul Hajj. And if that is also passed, then next year you slaughter in the days of Tashriq. Okay? So, but paying sadaqah for the loss of that person is not sufficient. Okay. Question number 36. So someone, I think we have done this uh, thing, and so for example, this the rule of thumb is if you heard that your animal has been sacrificed, you took off your ihram, you exited the ihram by clipping the hair and shaving the head, and then he said, "Oh no, sorry brother, yours is not sacrificed." Oh, get back into the libas of ihram, you are still muhrim. So that was the rule of thumb. Okay, so if a person thought that the one whom that his representative has slaughtered on his behalf, he believed, khalas, somehow he got the not the revelation, but somehow he was told that your sacrifice is done. Let's say his name was Mahmoud, the other's name was Mahmoud. This person's name was Mahmoud Mauji, and that person's name was Mahmoud Mauji. And don't be surprised. Or let's take Sada. This is, oh, you're all Bani Khoja, Bani Khoja. Let's take Bani Hashim. Let's say this was Arif Zaidi and that was Arif Zaidi. So two Arif Zaidis are there. And they were numbered there. So he told the Maulana there in the Mina in tent, Arif Zaidi done. Oh, the line got cut off. Arif Zaidi, yours done. And the guy was happily did his shaving and everything. And then the call got connected. Arif Zaidi number two is done. Number two, oh wait, Arif Zaidi number one, you are done. I didn't know that there was number one and number two. No, there's number one and number two. So number one, number two is, I got mixed up now. Which one was this? Anyhow, let's say number two got sacrificed and he thought that his animal was sacrificed. But it came out to be Arif number one. Arif Zaidi number one, oh yeah, oh no, stop. Your sacrifice is still not done. So when he say he believed some accidental information happened, and his animal was he thought his animal was sacrificed, and he shaved his head, and he removed his cloth and he took a nice shower, and the line got reconnected. He said, "No, still we have long queue until Arif Zaidi number two comes. This was number one." So that guy, poor guy, okay, at least he got a fresh showering. So he comes back into his ihram. He has to be. So that's what the ruling says, that if a person believes that his sacrifice, the representative's sacrifice on his behalf, and he did his responsibilities of shaving and or clipping the hair and exited the state of ihram, and after that he realized that it was not as he was informed, he says the answer, it is obligatory upon him to remove the stitched dress immediately and abstain from whatever is prohibited on a person who's in the state of ihram. Avoid it immediately, instantly, and come back to the state of ihram. You're in the state of ihram. That means you never exited. What about my hair? Kiss your hair goodbye. Now, next thing you will do the taqsir, clipping of the hair. So, so if he realized later on that his sacrifice is slaughtered, and he would exit from his ihram. But what about my hair? No shaving? No. Khalas, shaving was done and it was not intentional, it was accidental. So even you don't need to clip your hair because it was all accidental. You were informed and you relied on the information you received from reliable sources. So it was not your mistake. The line got cut off. The accidentally number one and number two got mixed up, and by the slaughterer or not by the slaughterer. That's a serious issue because of the specification. By the representative talking to the Maulana or talking to the committee there in the tent. So somehow it was not his fault. So no need for shaving I mean, shaving the head is already done. No need to do taqsir. He says there is no need for redoing the taqsir, okay, after knowing that the sacrifice is done. So only he needs to get out of the ihram, but no need to redo the obligation of taqsir, which or shaving the head. Question number 37. If a representative yeah, same question. However, the realization happened later on. So if a person believe based on reliable sources, okay, or he accidentally called him, you're done, and he took off his ihram, and then later on, sorry, we told you accidentally, there are so many sheeps, and then but your sheep was done in the evening, okay, in the time before Maghrib 1 hour, and he got the information before Dhuhr. So all this time he thought that he was relieved from the ihram. So what would be his responsibility? Because he dressed normal dressing, he started doing things which are halal but prohibited in the state of ihram. Okay, so what would be his responsibility? He says that his exit of ihram, the answer of Sayyid, his exit of the ihram happened in the time of slaughtering, which is before 1 hour of sunset, evening. Okay. However, he doesn't have to redo the shaving of the head, which was done. And there is no problem on him because he did not know that his actual exiting of ihram was there. So what about he wear this dress? There's no kafara on him, nothing. Okay. And it will be as ونحو من قبل ذلك مع اعتقاده قيام, because he believed based on reliable sources that his slaughtering was done. So there's no kafara on doing things which are prohibited in the state of ihram, okay, because he was unaware that the information he received from reliable sources had error in it. Question number 38. Okay, so there are 3 questions left and we'll be done for today. Question number 38. This scenario we mentioned before. Remember that people from Muzdalifah, there are 2 groups, they leave from one caravan. One is the slaughterer people, the committee of slaughterer, and one is the whole caravan, like Bani Israel. There are some people in the front, some people coming slowly behind. Some people are stuck in the bus. If you are from people who are in the bus, because they're elderly people, even small amount they cannot walk. Okay, because the whole walk from end Muzdalifah till end of Mina, Jamrat al-Aqaba, that's on the border of Makkah, and you know Mina is long. Border of Makkah, border of Mina, a border of Muzdalifah. In between there's Mina. See Wadi Muhassir, Mina, if you remember our map, and border of Makkah. So all the way from here till here, it's about 3 kilometers. And when people are walking 3 kilometers, normally it takes 45 minutes, for example. In that case, it could take 1 hour, 1.5 hours, because people are walking slow and you may get wrong turn, wrong this. If you don't follow the path of HAJJ because there's too much crowd, and you see somewhere places that are less crowd, you try to be smart. You see, then the HAJJ, you take that and you get lost. You end up into a tunnel. You come out in Makkah and Hazizi, all the messed up issues happen. So what happens if you are stuck in this case? So still there are 2 groups. One goes fast. They're fast walkers. Okay, they're the marathon people. and they have been delegated to go and do the Rami of Aqaba and slaughtering until the Hujjaj comes, and that's where an error happens many times, because some Maraja they may allow, some Maraja not. Say the Sistan says no, first Rami till Jamra Aqaba, pelting, stoning the big pillar, then comes the sacrifice, then comes the exiting the state of Ihram, shaving and all those kind of things. So there are sometimes accidental, something happened before, something happened after, they are accepted, and sometimes they are not accepted. So let's say this group goes all the way ahead to pelt this big Satan and go pillar and go all the way to uh, the slaughterhouse. And the rest of the people are in grades. Some are also fast walkers. They come and they pelt the stone and they come to the tent. And they have given representation to the slaughtering committee. And then the others, they come slow walkers. They also pelt and they come in the tent. And then the bus, sometimes the buses, they arrive very late. So if you are sitting in the bus, sometimes you may arrive in the evening and your slaughtering is done next day. So this is something which is normal, and the committee of Hajj, may Allah bless them, and slaughtering committee, may Allah reward them for being the whole day sometimes there, waiting, seeing, watching these faces of the goats, and the goats were staring on them and thinking, oh, who will be the next? Am I the next? Am I the next? Am I the next? And the guy is thinking, who will be the next? You or you or you? Anyhow, they don't have anything to do. It's just a slaughterhouse, just to count the sheep and watch, or just lie on some place. The committee is there. They have done their ihram. They have slaughtered there because they have exited. So they are relieved. But still staying in that rotting place with smell and blood and all those kind of things. They're doing jihad fi sabilillah for others to be relieved, sitting in the tent, in the air-conditioned tent, comfort zone, and these people. And yet they are mostly worried, oh, why didn't they slaughter mine? Why didn't they slaughter mine? Baba, there's a communication problem. The phone lines are down and this and that. Anyhow, so the scenario is those people who did the the stoning of the pillar of the shaitan left for the slaughterhouse. There are people that are coming. Normally, what happens? The mediation in the tent. Whoever comes, what's your name? Number one, you're number 6, number 8, number 9, number 1, number 9, Fulan, number Sayyid Zaidi, brother Khimji, brother Sayyid Alawi. So Bani Hashim and Bani Khoja and all the Banis are the names. So it's not like in sequence. So they start slaughtering the ones which are done. What happens if someone's sheep was slaughtered? Accidentally, they were informed that he pelted the shaitan stone by the mediator, and they slaughtered, and then the mediator found a whoopsie daisy. You can just now, yeah, I just finished pelting. Oh, your goat has been sacrificed. So I'm relieved. Wait, let's see, Allah. So that is the question. If the representative slaughters the sheep before the stoning of that person, and not stoning of the person, that person stones the big pillar of the shaitan, and out of unawareness of the ruling, he doesn't know that he needs to get information about this, the pillar of the Satan has been pelted, then he just slaughtered it. Will it be sufficient? He says, if the one who's supposed to pelt the pillar of the shaitan was unaware about the sequence, and he told them, you can slaughter on my behalf, they slaughtered. So it will be okay, because the person, the delegator was unaware. The one who delegated, the one who represented, he was unaware. So he says that it would be sufficient. However, if he had the knowledge that he has to first pelt or stone the pillar, and then then so first comes the stoning and then comes the slaughtering. So in this case, we have this the representation. Okay, if the representatives slaughtered before, it will not be sufficient, because that person who gave the representation, he had knowledge that he has to tell them, wait until I am done. So it will not be sufficient. Let me get this sentence in a simplified way. So يجزي إذا كان المنوب عنه نفسه جاهلا. إذا كان المنوب عنه نفسه جاهلا. If the person who is the representative, the one who gave the representation, the Hajji himself, if he was unaware about the ruling, then it will be sufficient. Unaware about the ruling of the sequence, that first comes the stoning and then comes the slaughtering. However, on the other hand, if he was aware, okay, that the sequence is required and that the slaughtering should be after the stoning. So if the slaughtering happened before the stoning, it will be not sufficient, because even the representation was given to be after the stoning, and it went against the representation. So you represented that person. First, you know that the sequence, then you represented according to the sequence. So there are two violations. Violation number one, violation of the sequence. Violation number two, violation of the representation. So it will not be sufficient. So he will have to redo the sacrifice after the stoning. Question number 39. If someone represented someone for slaughtering on his behalf, did not specify, okay, so yeah, so now what about the representative? So the problem here in this question number 39 is the issue of representative. Okay, if the Hajji represents someone to slaughter on his behalf, and he did not specify the way to confirm his stoning to his representative. Like, let me give you an example. See, I will personally call you. If I don't call you, please do not slaughter. That's number one. Or you, before you slaughter, if you heard that I have stoned, please call me to double check and confirm. Okay, so these are, or if the Maulana tells you, or if the mediator tells you that I've stoned, then you sacrifice. So there are ways, he specified the ways to confirm before slaughtering, because if he did not follow the method of confirmation and error happen, then the slaughterer will be responsible. Okay, so his sacrifice will not be a problematic, because he told him that you need to confirm. So in the question, let's say if someone represented someone to slaughter on his behalf, and he did not specify the method of confirmation after stoning He did not specify. After stoning, I will personally call you, or the Maulana will call you. If someone will specify, he did not specify any method of confirmation. So what happened? Someone informed the slaughterer that this Hajji has done stoning, or the group has done stoning, and he was from that group, and he had not done stoning yet. So the guy slaughtered based on the information received that the guy slaughtered, the group has slaughtered, but there was one person, this person had not slaughtered, and he did not specify any method of confirmation. So the slaughterer slaughtered. Will it be sufficient? He says, if the slaughterer was satisfied by this information received that the person is stoned, he was satisfied through this information, then it will be sufficient, okay? Even though if it appeared it was otherwise. So there is no problem in it because there was, but if there was a specification that see, I will personally call you, or see someone, or see you should call me and double check before slaughtering that I have stoned or not. So if there was no specification and the slaughterer was satisfied, it will be okay. The caravan leader made an agreement with the company of slaughtering to slaughter on his behalf and on behalf of the HAJJ who are with him. For various years, they have been doing that. And after that, he doubted that did the company fulfill their side of obligation or responsibility in the past years, okay, at that sanawat. So what should we consider? What if the doubt was from the beginning and they continued giving this company the delegation and representation, and then he just doubted. I mean, doubt was there. Are they really slaughtering on our behalf or not? It's just like a spam company, like many of those companies which are like cons, and they take the money of the people and disappear. So what if the doubt was from the beginning? And if, Sayyidina, you tell us that the slaughtering never happened based on that doubt, so in the upcoming year, should he be slaughtering on behalf of himself, or on behalf of, and on behalf of the Hujjaj of all those past years in the upcoming year? This guy is really, mashallah. He will have to slaughter how many? If his caravan is big, I mean, I'm talking about some big caravans of 200 people, 300 people. So the answer, yeah, the answer, he can consider based on his doubt, okay, ويمكنه البناء على تحقق الذبح بالنسبة إلى حج نفسه. He can consider that the slaughtering happened because it's a doubt, and doubt after passing the place where you can fix your doubt, but you already passed قاعدة التجاوز وعدم ضمان ما دفعه إلى صاحب الشركة, and there is no liability, okay, for whatever he paid to the company owner from other people's money. There's no khalas, your is done, there is done. The sacrifice is considered to be done, and you are not responsible to give the money back to the people whom you took from them. This is if the doubt was later, after passing, okay, of the time of the doubt, like exiting the days of Tashriq or exiting the month of Dhul Hajj. It depends on the scenario. That is number one. If the doubt was later. However, if the doubt was in that year, okay, in the time of sacrifice, then it will not be considered valid. So now, at least all those past years is relieved. Now the problem is this year, okay? So فَلَا يُحْكَمْ بِصَحَّةِ حَجِّهِ. His Hajj will not be valid. And you will have to give the money to those people whom you took from them because, yeah. So وَيَضْمَنْ لِلْآخَرِينَ بَدَلْ أَمْوَالِهِمْ. You gave to the company. The company told you they sacrifice, but you are doubting. And still you are in the place that the doubt can be fixed. So you are responsible. Your Hajj is messed up. Your Hajj is invalid. Because the time of fixing the doubt has gone. It's after the days of Tashriq. It's after the month of the Hajj exited. So you can't fix that thing because the doubt was there in that year. Because you did not doubt after passing. You doubted in the same condition where the doubt can be fixed. So you will be, even like before 5 years, okay? If the doubt was in the time where the doubt can be fixed, you are responsible. If the doubt was after the time where the doubt can be fixed, there's no problem. Even if it was like before 5 years, let's say you doubted, you're doubting now about all those past years. But in one of the years that you had a doubt in the time where the doubt can be fixed. So the rule of thumb is, regardless of past year, this year, if the doubts were fixable, you did not fix it, and you knew how to fix it, and you knew the solution, the ruling, then your Hajj is invalid, and you are responsible to pay the money of the sacrifice to all those who paid you the money for the sacrifice. وَأَمَّا مَعَ وُجُودِ الشَّكِّ فِي حِينِهِ. Where the doubt can be fixed, you did not fix the doubt, then your Hajj is not valid. And then you are responsible to pay others from whom you took the money. You must pay them the compensation of what you took. Will compensate them for what you took. لأنه دفعها إلى من لم يكن مخونا في الدفع إليه. Because you're not supposed to give to this company if you have doubt in this company. Why did you give this company the money? You're not supposed to. So he says, because he gave a company, a doubtful company, money. The doubt did not happen later. The doubt happened in the time of giving the money. So if this is the second scenario. If the doubt happened after he thought that it was a reliable company, then later on after sacrifice and after the time of fixing the doubt was gone. But here, no, you have now the choice not to give this company because it's not reliable company. It's a doubtful company. So you gave money, he says, because he gave money to the one which you are not supposed to pay them. Okay, that you are doubting that they would slaughter or not. So this is the scenario. However, if they are doubting that the sacrifice has been done or not, then they will consider ولكنهم إذا شكوا في إخراج الهدي عنهم. If these Hujjaj, they doubt that it was the sacrifice taken out on behalf of them, then they can consider it was done. وإن اطمأنوا بعدمه عملوا بما هو وظيفة من لم يذبح جان. And these Hujjaj, so we have two scenarios. We have one, the representative, and other, the Hujjaj. So if Hujjaj, they doubted that it was slaughtered on their behalf or not, so they can consider it slaughtered. But if they got from that person's doubt, this doubt here, and from the guy is giving back some money, why? Because I don't know, I mean, it was sacrifice or not. So if they had satisfaction that it was sacrifice, then they don't have to do anything. But if they did not satisfy, if they were satisfied that no, it was not sacrifice on our behalf, the doubt still stands, then they are supposed to do whatever is the responsibility of those whom the sacrifice was not done on their behalf out of unawareness. The ruling was that they, if the time is still there, they need to redo the sacrifice. If the days of Tashriq passed, then in the month of Dhul Hajj, with the details mentioned about the fasting and the Makkah, and then if not, then the upcoming year, if not in the upcoming year, the year after. So if let's say they were like 5 years before this happened, they can still in the month of Dhul Hajj do the slaughtering because they were not aware. This the representative, he got messed up, not them. So if they're satisfied that it was done on their behalf, no need to redo. But if they're not satisfied, then they need to fulfill their responsibility. If the representative slaughters before the stoning on behalf of the one who gave him representation, unaware about the ruling, doesn't know about the sequence, will it be sufficient? So he says, how was the language of representation? Was the language here? You know the rule, you don't know the rule, it doesn't matter. The representation matters. What type of maybe the representative follows some other marja who might say that you can, if stoning happens before, if the slaughtering happens before stoning, unawareness, it will be sufficient. So here he says, what is the language? It's according to the language of the representation, the statement. If the representative did not go against the representation given to him, it would be sufficient. So the representation was just slaughter on my behalf. Did not say wait until I am done with stoning, you are informed about the stoning. It was a general representation. And he did act it according without knowing. So it would be sufficient. If someone was an agent to slaughter on behalf of a group and he represented someone else to slaughter on their behalf. So who should make the intention? We took this before. The intention should be done by the slaughterer. That I'm slaughtering this on behalf of the sacrifice of Hajj of Fulan Fulan. Does he have to say no, embedded intentions? Okay, he can say, I'm going to slaughter on behalf of all these Hujjaj, the list I have, or the one who's giving me dictation, slaughter on behalf of Fulan Fulan, slaughter on behalf. So he has to bring the specific intention. So he said, the one who's slaughtering should intend, should make the intention. And it is sufficient to just make the intention of whom he was represented by the first agent, first representative. Because there is a representative, like caravan leader, he's been representing the Hujjaj. And then he gave the representation to the slaughterer. So the whole intention is in the intention, the whole list is in the intention of the caravan leader. So this is how it's those whom I have been represented by the representative, the first representative, the caravan leader, I'm slaughtering on those, on behalf of those one by one. If the agent, if someone represented someone that specific, these are specific representation that you are specifically going to slaughter on my behalf. So the language of representation was not general, it was very specific. So he represented someone, he thought that he is going to slaughter, but later on appeared that he gave someone else the responsibility of slaughtering. Will it be sufficient? He says, yeah, it will be sufficient. Okay. Uh, because normally, uh, the slaughtering process is normally given to someone else who's expert in slaughtering. In most of the caravan, the caravan leader takes the representation and delegates the slaughtering to someone else. More than that, delegates a committee, and among the committee, there's a slaughterer. Or the committee goes to the slaughtering house and they choose the slaughterer. They're with their machetes and with their knives, they're walking around. Please come help us out. We'll give you $10 for each sacrifice. Okay. So he comes, he was to earn. So most of the time, this is what happens. The caravan leader rarely, in very rare cases, they slaughter. It used to happen before once upon a time, where the caravan leader will come and he personally love to slaughter. He will slaughter with other slaughterers. So this is the thing that even this delegation, they have like 10 you slaughter on behalf of this list. You take these 10, you take these 10. So they are divided between subcommittee, and then they take 10 slaughterers with their machetes and with their knives and roaming around. Come, so this person takes for his 10 slaughterer. So it's all about, normally this is what happens, say the Sistani says. So even if he thought that Fulan Hamladar, the caravan leader, is going to slaughter on my behalf, uh, there's no problem, because he is responsible for slaughtering the caravan leader, and he delegates someone else to slaughter on behalf of the Hujjaj. So this was the area of the ruling of specifying the animal of sacrifice. I think we should stop here. And inshallah, we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the inspiration to complete the manasik al-Hajj. And I know, I mean, I get some feedback that some of our beloved ones are benefiting from this ruling, even if 5 benefit. My responsibility is to put these explanations, because lots of errors and mistakes are happening, not from the non-Arabic speaking people, even from Arabs. They feel that they know the manasik al-Hajj and they mess up a lot. Most of the caravan leaders, caravan representative, the Maulanas, and then so most of the time we have seen these issues happening. So that's why, some of our beloved ones who are responsible for taking caravans for English-speaking communities, they requested, and based on their request, the whole Manasik al-Hajj, the explanation, because the translated has problem in translation. As you saw, some of the words, they could be translated different ways. And that is exactly happened in some of the translations of Manasik al-Hajj of Agha Sistani Damadullah. So that's why it was necessary to give these explanations, and we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that these explanations are beneficial for our beloved caravan leaders, caravan scholars, caravan committees. You don't have to be a scholar to lead if you are aware of all these ahkam. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all the amal by the sake of Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Wa akhiru da'wan alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala alihi tayyibin at-tahirin. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.